Hi. It's been a while since I've been live. So I've been kind of away, kind of doing things. So I'm going to kind of get this class space and my other class spaces going for the new year. I'll wait till some people find us and I'll get started. But I wanted to do a class video today on manifesting because of the energies that we're kind of experiencing now and the energies that we can expect going into 2020. This is a huge celebration for, I guess we could say, for this ascension, that we're kind of stepping into these new energies. We can see, I put out a energy reading last night that, we had a power baseline of 90 hertz on the Schumann resonance. Anything above 40 hertz really is 5D. We can really kind of line up those frequencies with states of our brain, and we can see that clearly states of our brain, it can align with certain states of consciousness. So we can see that as the frequencies are going up on this planet, we're kind of experiencing this shift in consciousness, which is so much more than just a shift in perception. It's also a shift in frequency. And we know that the law of attraction is real and that your frequency is going to really draw all of your experiences to you. I want to talk a little bit about manifesting though. Some people are like, what is that? It's huge in my journey, and it's such a big part of who I am and what I'm doing here. And I know that I'm not the only one that kind of has these abilities with manifesting because of the work that I do. I tend to kind of attract other people to me. A lot of the times, you might be a manifestor if you're in your head a lot. You might be a natural manifestor. If you're an overthinker, you've probably thought of everything, right? We need to realize, though, that we are creating our reality. So 2020 will be about us stepping into our abilities manifesting, and those old 3D programs that used to serve people are kind of getting outdated now. And it's really important that we're taking back our power and realizing that we are co-creators of our reality, and that we can be kind of creating things much bigger. So we're going to be basically instant manifesting easier and easier. The things that we're thinking about, the things that we're putting out intentions for, we're basically always just kind of navigating our experience. I'm kind of on this spiritual quest, but it's more of I'm just trying to understand the universe and where I live and kind of my purpose and place here. I am doing a lot of dream work as the frequencies are going up. It's making us much more lucid in the dream state as well. And I've realized that this place is fascinating to me because it's pretty much a dream state. For instance, at night, you're going to go ahead and you're going to go to sleep and you're going to enter into an entire another world. These are what I refer to as the inner worlds. Right? So basically we're in the same experience right now. It feels more dense, it feels more physical, but this literally is another world of yours that we're exploring. And, I'm trying to navigate living in these new frequencies and these new energies, and kind of my life am living in the fifth dimension now. And I've realized you literally have to kind of go about things just like a dream experience. If you wake up in the dream state and you realize you're lucid, you literally are going to navigate that experience by the things you're thinking about, where you're putting your focus. And they say, energy goes where your focus or attention goes, and that is so true. So really we're losing time as well, kind of going through this experience, and we're being put more in the now, hopefully. Things like meditation, grounding, can really help you clear your mind and can kind of refocus you back into the now. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how to navigate this reality. We're going to have to learn to manifest things as we need them. That's why we tend to, the objects around us can become clutter to us at a certain point because we no longer need the things around us. Now, people have such a focus on manifesting the material. Whatever we're thinking about, whatever we're putting vibrations out for, we're probably going to see in our reality. That goes for our thoughts and the way we think about other people as well. We have a big thing because with karma, people are like, oh, I hope that guy gets some karma. Our energy always only comes back to ourselves. It doesn't really affect other people like that. So if we have a negative intention for someone to manifest something, we will manifest that probably. Our brain is kind of like a complex supercomputer, and you only have to kind of tell it once when you're manifesting. But it helps if we're putting our focus on something. So I really like things like manifesting lists, vision boards. We think we're really clear telepathically, but we're not as clear as we like to think. When we have like a million thoughts thoughts a day, and our angels and guides are trying to keep up with us on this journey as well, the things that we need, you know, and trying to process these things. So things like lists, vision boards, they can be really helpful. I first got on video because, you know, I started kind of practicing with this stuff and was like, it was pretty mind-blowing to me with, you know, how I have been taught reality is and how reality actually is to navigate. So if we look around collective, we see a lot of people are kind of disconnected, kind of having hard lessons, kind of having hard experiences, and it's no different for anyone. We're all kind of in a manifest reality, and really we have to practice with these things. I'm trying to explain this stuff to people because I'm explaining we've had these abilities all along. We have to learn how to master them. No one's going to do that for you. There won't be any event. We're going to have to literally do the inner work, kind of practice with this stuff and get really good at it. That's what really sets aside where some people are at with these abilities and where other people are. So we all have always had the ability to manifest. The law of attraction is real. The things we're focusing on, whether we want them or don't want to see them, your subconscious can't tell the difference, and we tend to see and land on these experiences. We tend to limit our manifesting by thinking of money. You know, instead of like, for example, if you needed a bicycle for your kid, people usually try to focus on, I need this dollar amount to buy it, and they tend to block themselves. With manifesting, it's better to think of an actual item because you never know. Your neighbor could say, I have a free brand new bike for you. That's the same bike you were thinking about. So the universe usually will align some of our manifestations through the people around us. So when we're thinking of, I need money for this, it tends to kind of block that avenue when it could open up other pathways for what it is that we're trying to receive. So I'm using a lot of material examples, but I'll get into other types of manifesting in a minute. I always say that, you know, sometimes if something is very expensive or very heavy, it could be harder to manifest than maybe something that costs like 5 cents. So obviously things like that, the more energy it would take to create. Now, to be able to really manifest where we need to be, we're talking about materializing an item or an object out of nothing through nothing but pure thought. That's what I'm into, right? And people here are like, is this magic you're into? What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm trying to explain. I literally just manifest, and I need to stay focused on manifesting all of the time. Things like negativity will really throw off your manifesting, because if we have a lot of negative thoughts going through our mind, it affects our frequency and it cuts us off kind of as channels and where we need to be. You ever have one of those really good days where you're just so excited and everything's aligning and goes great, and maybe a bunch of your manifestations come to you all at once and you feel like you're really tuned in and flowing, right? And the reverse could be true. You could be like having one of those days where you just like get caught off in traffic and everything just starts to go wrong, you might feel. So it's really important that we understand when we're happy, this is how we manifest. And the universe doesn't care about what people want materially. It only cares about who we're being shaped into. So if a manifestation would like make you a better version of yourself, or, you know, would make you the person you're meant to be, you'll probably manifest it a lot easier than if it's just a watch or something blingy that you kind of want to show off or something. So it really depends on what it is that we're trying to manifest. But if it would like help your character or who you are as a person, I'm sure the universe would align with it much faster. There is a saying to follow our bliss. That's literally your happiness. What makes you happy? If you're trying to manifest things that really, you know, are not lighting you up, probably they won't work out as good. So it's really important that our manifestations are in alignment with our bliss and making us happy. 2020 is going to be a year about how we feel. We've had a lot of lessons. We just went through a kind of a 2-year cleansing period, and we're going up in frequency. And so we're becoming more and more powerful in our abilities. Well, a lot of people aren't realizing that, and they're all contributing to the collective, right? We're all making a contribution to this collective, and this is very important that we realize we're going into new energies and new frequencies, and we're going to have to adapt to live here. We're going to have to get lighter and lighter and learn how to adapt to these energies, and we're also going to have to learn how to navigate them. The things that we used to be able to do in these dense third-dimensional energies, we're not going to be able to do when we're literally learning how to instant manifest. My favorite technique is have faith in the universe. I don't think I could have made it across the planet if I didn't have some type of faith in this source energy that is guiding me and leading me on this journey. So they say to ask, believe, and receive. That is so true. Have faith that there are forces much bigger than ourselves that are, you know, kind of leading us along, navigating this experience. I like to say that we're kind of, you know, stars in a movie with our life, and the best way to create is to create a role for the universe as well, right? I'm here kind of playing a hero on my journey, and for sure I need that universal energy to align anything in my life, whether it's the work that I'm doing, the people that are being drawn to me, things like that. So it's very important that while we're creating, we're kind of writing a role in for the universe. We're always talking about playing hero. Why not, you know, write a role in for the universe to be saving you? The universe loves to do that as well, right? Loves to play a role in our story. Well, what's wrong with that? This is an unseen force, an energy around us. A lot of the spiritual you're going to have to feel. And so in 2020, we're going to have a lot of senses coming online. A lot of people are beginning to feel their feelings more intensely. We're going to continue to release a lot of kind of heavy stuff. We might even have traumas that are unknown to us, right? Past life kind of experiences that have shaped us kind of into this being that we are now, that are kind of coming to the surface for closure. If you look around at the planet, I believe that we're all one. And with my perspective on consciousness is kind of like that higher perspective where I can see the, you know, oneness and synchronicity and anything that's occurring. So if you want to get deep with this stuff and you look around, this is all of us. This is our soul, right? Just kind of this spiritual experience that we're viewing from different perspectives and different pieces. But we have a lot to really continue to heal, both collectively and individually. So 2020 will be about us stepping into new energies. We're starting to feel them now. I had to get on video and I didn't want to because we're kind of feeling those eclipse energies. I'm kind of in the UK right now, so I'm really where a lot of this energy is coming in, and it can be very intense for people that are very energy sensitive here at this time. There's a lot of radiation flowing. It's like space radiation, right? It's like radioactive space energy, and it can be very intense for those that are becoming energy sensitive. I believe people are going to be tuned into feeling these energies more and more as they intensify too. And I always say we process energy differently. We basically are going to have 6 eclipses in 2020. And yeah, the one we just had doesn't count. That's 2019. That doesn't even count. And we really have that ahead of us. So you can see that what happens with an eclipse is there's an energy reset. And at the same time, we're kind of getting flooded with all of this, you know, solar energy and galactic energy, and it's putting us up into higher and higher frequencies. And those eclipse effects can last for several months, like 3 or 4 months, right? Maybe people say even 6. They can last for several months, the effects of eclipses. So it basically is like kind of setting off, like I say, like an EMF device. Like if we set off an EMF device and it knocked off the Wi-Fi, that will be kind of the effect of an eclipse on our energy. It kind of recalibrates us. So we're going through a recalibration where we're kind of like, we got switched off, right? And we're getting back into our energy. So we can see that we're going to have a lot of very powerful astrology this year on top of the energy is going to continue to intensify. So a lot of people have been, you know, ignoring the messages around them because the universe has been trying to wake everyone up and give everyone an opportunity to do this ascension during this time. So some people are kind of switched off to this stuff, ignoring the messages, and they're instant manifesting too. It doesn't matter what level of awareness you're at, and if you realize this stuff, it doesn't matter. So when I was asleep, I was creating a lot of fear-based stuff that I didn't want to really experience, so I wasn't really enjoying it, right? And so, you know, what this has done for me, awakening, is I've become consciously aware of how my thoughts and my words are not just affecting my reality, but I'm making a contribution to the collective. So I want to become more aware of, you know, not just my words, but the vibrations behind them, my intentions, so that I can help create something better in terms of the collective as well. So we're realizing that we have yet to create the future, that we're all going to kind of play a part in this, and we have a lot of work to do with our abilities and in mastering them. So we're realizing a lot of our abilities stem from the mind. I think that our science is garbage. They say a lot of our DNA is garbage. I think our science is garbage, and that a lot of our science has been suppressed, and that there's a very limited understanding of the body and a lot of these things, especially when it comes to consciousness. So, you know, we have a lot that was going to have to catch up with these type of things. People that are not building on a foundation of love this year might not do so good either. So a lot of times we're trying to manifest the material. I tell people to try to manifest love we were putting out vibrations to manifest rainbows here, and they came so fast, it was just mind-blowing, right? And then we got the rainbows. So, you know, when you're trying to manifest things that are more energetic based and less material based, like I said, it can be easier as well. So that's something powerful, that people can be manifesting love, bringing more love into their lives and things like that. I usually will set my intentions before I go to Stonehenge, and this time I just kind of had an intention of love, right? More love. So I try to set intentions because it is a Stargate that we're using to kind of shift around. So for sure, make sure that you're putting out more love. Gratitude, that's why I chose to do this video in this space, because gratitude, you know, it also is the highest frequency. So like I said, we're navigating this experience, and anything we're thinking about is affecting our energy. We can see that when you're like thinking different things, it literally changes your aura around all day long, right? It changes your aura depending on what you're thinking about, focusing on, and things like that. Gratitude is very powerful. It will shift your energy to the highest frequency, but it also is creating new pathways in your brain. And I want to talk about what those pathways are, right? We can see if we scientifically study people and do some type of, you know, scientific testing while people are in a state of gratitude, that new pathways are lighting up in the brain. We're always rewiring ourselves, our body, our DNA, our brain, right? Our entire chemistry. We're powerful beings, right? So these pathways are new timelines, new probabilities. As these new areas of your brain are lighting up, they're creating entire new pathways in your physical reality. We can see that your brain is literally projecting the physical experience. So gratitude is powerful, literally. A lot of people get stuck in a negative mindset, thinking everything is awful, they have nothing they need. This is kind of a state of lack. If we can shift to a state of gratitude, we can literally unlock and tap into infinite abundance, infinite manifesting potential. So, you know, a lot of this has to do with our energetic state. Like I said, if you're low vibe and everything's going awful, you're not going to be very magnetic. When I'm happy, when I'm lit up, you should see the effect I can have on people and how magnetized to me people will be, because on a deep level, people just want love. People just want connection, love, things like that. So for sure, stay happy, stay excited when you're trying to manifest. I've had to manifest the craziest things, and I have always thought I kind of get pushed a little too hard with this stuff too, right? So I had, and I say had to, or I'd probably die here, had to manifest some pretty crazy things the past couple of years. So I really have been getting pushed to do my mission in my journey, and I've had to really like do mind-blowing things that would be impossible to anyone, right? Like, this is my next mission objective and I'm supposed to do this, and it would be literally impossible. Expect miracles when you're manifesting. Like, literally, I find I'm always manifesting for my mission, where I would literally need a miracle to see this occur, and it happens all the time. I couldn't even begin to tell you the amount of miraculous things that have occurred. What is a miracle? Something a human being is not capable of doing. Like I said, we have this external and internal force, this source energy that is assisting us and guiding us. If you expect miracles and need them and ask, you will receive them. For me, prayer is a powerful tool when it comes to manifesting, right? How else are we, making that clear? And I'm going to be doing all these classes again, like I said. So I'm going to go into telepathy, next video or two in my Lumerian Dream School group. And that kind of goes hand in hand, because prayer pretty much is like telepathy. That is your telepathic line. Who are you praying to, right? A higher power, maybe your guide, source, right? Things like that. So we see that we're very connected via prayer. That's because people are very, very telepathically connected on so many levels. And we can see that there's a lot of physical changes occurring with this space. I'm going to do some really fun things in this space. I'm getting them going now for the new year, right? I'm going to do some really fun things, and I want to really incorporate the other upper chakras and low and feet chakras as well, because we can see that with this ascension that we have different chakras coming online, right? So we can see that there's a lot of physical bodies happening with ascension. One of them happening in our house is a lot of changes with the head, with the crown chakra and the upper chakras that are coming online. And it's my understanding that that is us and our brains being rewired for telepathy. And I'll get into that, like I said, in a different space. But, you know, with telepathy, it's, people think it's like, you know, abilities reading someone else's mind. I look at telepathy more as an energetic exchange of information. We can see that when people are receiving downloads. That is a form of telepathic communication. You're having a telepathic, you know, transmission being sent to you, and you're receiving it, and you're kind of unlocking it and understanding it. So, like I said, another chat. But things like prayer are powerful tools, right? Having faith. We have literally angels, guides. I'm going to try to do the best I can with this list, right? Angels, we have guides, a higher self, which would be like your future self assisting you in the now. We literally have spirit guides. You also have guardian angels. There are archangels. There are deities, which some of you may think of as gods and goddesses. We have ascended masters. We have your ancestors, your relatives. You know what I mean? Your past incarnations of yourself. How many of those do you think you did, right? Things like this, guiding us and assisting us. We now have a lot of extraterrestrial presence on this planet and behind the scenes guiding us and assisting us. A lot of the people on this planet would even be, you know, classified as starseeds. We have a lot of angelics here during this time, elementals, souls from all different places that would have incarnated into this one place to make this place better, to heal these issues. We had solutions for a lot of these problems. And so a lot of us came with amazing spiritual gifts, and people are like, where are these abilities? You've always had them. We can learn how to tune in and tap into these things at any given time. That's why a lot of these teachings were kept in mystery schools and kind of in hidden places, because you had to understand the times and how dangerous this kind of stuff would be. Anything going against the grain, you know, would have been considered, you know, illegal and things like that. But for the first time ever, we can see that consciousness or this awakening is kind of going mainstream. People are kind of allowed to put this stuff on YouTube, on Facebook. It's becoming more and more accessible. Practice. I like to start with little objects. When I was learning how to manifest, set a goal, go ahead, work on it. Everything I've ever talked about has materialized in crazy ways. We're manifesting for 2020, and what we're doing is manifesting experiences. You know, we did like crop circles this year, which was a really amazing experiences. That's something I couldn't manifest on my own. I would probably need extraterrestrial assistance in materializing a crop circle into the physical. So I was working on some kind of big manifestations where I would need something bigger than myself to do that. While I can go do a video at a crop circle, I'm going to need actual aliens to make these crop circles. So, you know, that was something I would work on, you know, with higher forces, as will you say, right? This summer, I want to do some amazing kind of events at some of these sacred sites, and, you know, clearly I'm not going to be able to manifest this on my own. I'm going to need things that might be deemed as miraculous to some people. So I usually am trying to manifest experiences. Source really wants to experience, you know, doing fun things as yourself. Things that make you happy. We can see there's a lot of this energy where there's bliss and where there's, let's just say, you know, love and things like that. And where there's hate and, you know, things like the lower vibrations and things like that. There's very little of this energy. So this is all about us finding our light for 2020. We're going to be working on self-love a lot. And I'm learning that too, how we're putting a lot of our energy outwards. We've been kind of programmed to do that. And how we can kind of shift the focus back to ourselves, kind of with more self-love. That's how we're really going to light up. And really us vibrating higher and finding our light brighter, that's how we're going to lift up this collective and best serve people. There's nothing else we can really do other than working on our own energy. We're working on our personal space here too as well. We're here to create a heaven on earth. How does your space look, your external environment? And it's okay because we're in transition, right? We've been moved around a lot. We can continue a lot of shifts and things like that. But try to make sure that you're like decluttering now as we're going into these eclipses. We're at a beautiful space, but it's an intense energy because we're in between two eclipses. And we're pretty much going to be in that space all year. A lot of you guys might even feel more dreamlike, where there's kind of like a dreamy vibe going on. It's a little trippy, kind of dreamy. People are kind of adjusting to these energies. There's a lot of people disoriented and kind of at different places with it. But we can expect to be kind of in the middle of this eclipse gateway all year, right? If we have so many eclipses, that's like an eclipse every other month. So we can kind of expect to be be kind of in these energies. These are the energies of 2020 that we're kind of feeling and navigating, and these are powerful manifesting energies. We have a lot of supermoons this year too. So this is us stepping into our power, manifesting, letting go of the excuses. Usually like we'll have like ideas we want to go do something and a reason why we can't. These are your blocks. If you have like, you want to do something or an idea and a second later you have some type of negative thought telling you can't do this, those are your blocks and your limits right there. So we need to reprogram too. If we have things that are blocking us, blocking our potential, like any type of negative feedback, right? You can't do this. You know, we need more self-love. What if we became our biggest cheerleaders, right? Because, you know, a lot of times, starting the year in 2019, I seem to need a lot of external feedback. And now I'm learning how to give that to myself because I kind of came up short with that, right? So I'm learning how to not need that external approval and to kind of be a better kind of cheerleader to myself, so to speak. If we were actually encouraging ourselves, could you imagine how far we could go with this stuff? So a lot of times we do have these blocks, these limits as to what we think is possible. A lot of you guys are going to begin to remember more and more of your dream experiences, I hope too, because that will give you an idea of your abilities. Sometimes you have these dreams where you're having these abilities, whether it's just more psychic premonition, maybe you're levitating things, maybe you're able to travel crazy. These are ideas of the abilities that you really have because you are practicing with them kind of in other states of being, and here we're kind of getting into energies where we can tap into these things. The best way to unlock your manifesting abilities is to make sure that you're clear as a channel too. Your third eye. Like I said, a lot of our abilities lie with our third eye. That's why we see so much going on to try to shut down that chakra, it seems like. It just seems like there's a lot of metals going around. There's a lot of kind of lower things being done with our food, toxins and things like that. So I really believe there is a targeted agenda to dumb down humanity and to keep kind of humanity as these worker slaves that won't question their reality. But we're finding there's a whole nother reality right here. And a lot of that has to do with frequency. So if we can clear out our third eye, then clearly that's our connection with the universe. It's kind of like our modem, right? Our dial-up modem. So we need to kind of upgrade our software too. Make sure that you have done some type of detoxing. It's going to be huge during this time where people have not detoxed enough, myself included, right? Myself included. We need to become lighter and lighter, and we're going to have to really keep working very hard to keep up with this planet and the ascension that is unfolding. So for sure, if you guys haven't done any like chlorella, turmeric detoxing, you know I'm huge on that. You guys can always ask me for vitamins, but I'm huge on using LJs for detoxing. I'm going to read the comments. All right, I'm going to be doing a lot of activations in this space. I was just waiting for I'm waiting for the first, right? I'm kind of waiting for the first, and I'm going to start these spaces again. I took a nice little break to work on myself this year. We did a lot of upgrades, like I said, kind of sacred sites. We did the crop circles. It was a lot in my body, lots of radiation, right? Lots of radiation, lots of upgrades, and that was really needed. It's given me so much more perspective on this stuff too. I'm kind of coming back with some really fun things to do in these spaces too. I'm trying to think if I forgot anything. Gratitude. I encourage you guys to start a gratitude journal. A lot of the reprogramming I did was I had a lot of negativity going on, and every day when I woke up, I would just think of the things that I'm grateful for, and I learned how to keep myself in that gratitude mindset, which is something that is taught in Reiki as well, right? Gratitude is just so powerful in terms of our connection, our frequency, but also rewiring our brain. So we've had our brains kind of rewired for the negative, and it's up to us to kind of rewire those, turn on those pathways. Those new pathways that are lighting up, those are not new pathways. That's us rewiring our brain and turning on the pathways that should be activated. They have us so ingrained in this kind of like, you know, parts of the brain that keep us in addictive patterns, programming, negativity. We need to really activate these other areas of ourselves that have been dormant for a really long time. So I found that staying positive, literally, and staying high vibe, the universe will do everything else. Like I swear, right? If you can, but that takes a lot. That takes mastery to stay positive and stay high vibe about everything, right? Every day. But, you know, we can just take this stuff a day at a time. We're so used to like these 10-year plans and 20-year plans, living in 3D and everything like that. But when you're navigating the fifth dimension, you don't know what's going to happen. You have to just take it a day at a time. We can expect a lot of plot twists, I'll tell you that. With this ascension where everyone thinks they know what's going to happen. And, you know, the universe is really into these surprises and plot twists and kind of a gradual reveal with all of this. So expect plot twists for sure. Expect the universe to be delivering a lot of miracles this year. Swear. More gratitude for what we have, more self-love. Literally, we're always focused on everyone outside of ourselves. More self-love. I'm going to work on some mirror exercises and some fun exercises to do that. You guys know I'm really big on things like soul retrieval. I believe the whole planet has a lot of issues with a lot of the same stuff, and so we're kind of ahead of the game that we can be having these conversations and healing and being prepared while, you know, a lot of other people are at different places with their lessons. So for sure, have gratitude that you've been awakened. We go through these initiations to kind of reach this place, so it is a high level of spiritual attainment. It might not make sense to us here because we don't see the big picture. We just kind of see, what was this? Like all these lessons and experiences, these were initiations that are still needed to kind of reach this place where we can make an ascension. And this is all that is important. Like I try explaining that to people, that what is important to me in my life is this spiritual ascension, my mission, and that's pretty much all there really is. So it's very important that we're staying focused on this ascension too and working on ourselves. I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to be putting another activation post up here. So I have this space, Awakening to Ascension, and then I have Lemurian Dream School and Mystery School of Atlantis. We have 3 class spaces on here. I'm starting them again for January 1st. I'm going to put a new activation in this one. We're going to start going through the chakras, but I'm going to incorporate the other upper chakras and feet chakras as well, because my feet, especially my feet chakras here, are like insane with the burning, tingling. We're like turning radioactive and crazy here. So I definitely want to work on some other chakra areas this year. We'll do lots of soul retrieval. We'll try to stay in gratitude. You guys can use this wall, whether it's like just listing things that are good for you. Give it a try. You have a good day. Go share an experience. You can go lift up our whole group if someone's having a bad day. Positive vibes are contagious, and it's impossible to stay happy and high vibe all the time. We have a lot of lessons, so we really can assist others. Maybe someone's having a bad day, and it will light them up. So for sure, share more of your happiness, your bliss, your gratitude. Are you trying to manifest something? People don't understand. I've came into some amazing abilities because of my mission of service, and I love to help people. So I help people with the most random things that you couldn't even probably consider, right? Yes, you can use manifesting for anything. Trying to fix your lessons, trying to fix your relationships. Let me see, right? Trying to sell your house, trying to move into a new life, trying to manifest something impossible. I would love to assist, so you guys can always kind of be posting about your manifesting in these spaces. That's how I manifest. I get on video. I put up pictures of where I want to go, right? I go find pictures on Google and start posting them all over Facebook. Facebook is your new vision board. Make sure that in 2020 you're posting about things you want to see, getting more consciously aware of this stuff. So like I said, looking at pictures, making vision boards, making lists, just putting it out there. That's really what it is needed to create. All of creation starts right here. Your ideas, things you think about. I like this space because a lot of people are going to be thinking of New Year's resolutions. And like I said, skip the being hard on yourself resolutions. You're perfect as is. And stay focused on what do you want to create for 2020. Not like your whole year laid out. Like, are there some fun things you've been trying to do? Do you want to go somewhere, right? Maybe just little trips that are easy, places you want to go. Maybe you have a bucket list. If we had a bucket list, we would be doing more of that list, but we never put it out there. They've killed all of our dreams. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. They've tried to kill all of our dreams after the age of like 5, right? So people stop daydreaming. They're told to stop dreaming, get out of space, stay in reality, right? So make a bucket list though, because if you put it out there, you never know. Maybe it's your dream to go to Taiwan, and you know, the universe never knew. So put it out there, make a bucket list. Maybe you'll end up there, like your cousin will call and be like, I got free tickets, you're going to Taiwan. And that is how manifesting really works. So people get limited by money. They think I can never afford to do anything. That is not true. The universe can align all of your experiences, everyone in your reality, everything. So for sure, make a bucket list that will literally make it so you're living more of your dream life. Just put it out there. The universe wants to know what you want to create. So a lot of people are kind of in that state of surrender, like, oh, the universe will do everything. You might be sitting waiting a minute because this place is to teach us self-mastery. So the universe wants us to do our own path and our own lessons, but it's supposed to lead us to a place of empowerment where we realize and learn how to tune into these amazing abilities. So for sure, the lesson going into 2020 right now is skip the New Year resolutions, right? Usually that's like, I'm fat, right? People are like, I'm fat or whatever. Skip the being hard on yourself and just stay really optimistic right now, because 2020 is literally like a blank space, a blank canvas that we have yet to create, and really take power of what it is you're trying to create. And I'm going to get off of here and go ahead and do a card video.